Hello and welcome to the wonderful world of the Commodore Vic-20. Today, yes, you can hear that sound. We are experimenting with a program from a science pack of 6 tapes and a data set. I'm going to press Shift Run Stop. I'm going to press play. And the searching will commence. As you know, if you grew up on these, tape drive is pretty reliable and also reliably slow. Slow it is. So, I think this is a tutorial. Cells tutorial. Oh, look, Cell Tutor. It is loading. It is indeed. So, out of all the tapes I've tried, there was only one that I had an issue with. But it really wasn't a terrible issue because the program was on the other side. So it all worked out. So Cell Tutor, I don't know what that would possibly be. There was the life thing we looked at, if you look back through some earlier episodes, where you put in some asterisks and then it decides how things progress in terms of cell generation and the death of cells.
That was easy.
So, we are still loading. It is spinning. I am forever hopeful that it will be just dandy.
I am your father.
But while we wait, it does sometimes feel like... Yes! The oh dear. The Twilight Zone indeed. We have our first error. Undefined statement error in 6. Oh dear. Okay. That did not go well. Now, they say that the program I'm going to start it. They say the program is recorded on the tape twice, so I am now fast forwarding to flip this over. So basically what that looks like is it's supposedly loaded, but it didn't. We'll reset again. And this time, instead of the Shift Run Stop, I'll type in load. And we'll press play. And we will see what happens. Very strange. Very strange indeed. But there's two of the joys of working with a data set, whether it be on a PET, a 64, a 128, a VIC-20, a C16, a +4, all those things. They were pretty reliable and mighty slow. So I would like to think that soon something will be found. But once again, we must remember these tapes are 30+ years old. Actually, if I grab the packaging, I can probably see, maybe, when this was brought out. Well, or not. Now this says searching and searching and searching, and I think we're on another dead end here. Because it should have found something, I think, by now. So this is it's trademark of Commodore, but it doesn't. I don't see a year, but the VIC-20, 80s. So this tape is 30-some years old, and I hesitate to say it's not happening. Well, as patient as I am, I think we're going to fast forward does seem to be a little longer. We're going to eject. We're going to go back to the other side. I'm going to make sure that the tape is in nice and smooth. Just list. We got nothing. We will load. We will press play. And we'll see. I think it will not make any difference, and perhaps we have our first defective tape. But that's not bad. They all warned us. This magnetic media will not last forever. And perhaps this is one of those times. I'm wondering, of course, also, I do have the power supply for the VIC-20 fairly close to the datasette. Although it has not made any difference. I'm going to just move it away a little bit. Because you know, these things give off, well, heat and other it is found. Alright. The other one we're going to look at sooner than later, especially if this doesn't work, it's called Atom Tutorial. This one is Cell Tutorial. But it is still loading, so we'll just give it a chance here. Hopefully something or another is different, that it will actually load and work. And if not, we will move on. We shall. I think it's taking a little longer this time. Hopefully that is a good sign. It's funny, long ago, a fellow I knew, he got one of the TRS-80 first computers, and it used a cassette drive, but you just use a regular cassette drive, and of course they had volume controls, which meant, and they were there, and if somebody touched the volume control or dicked around with the volume control, it meant that things would not load properly. So you had to be very careful. And I always liked that about the Commodore datasets. There was no such trouble. It was set however it was set. There was no need to change it or diddle around with it, because it just worked, except perhaps in this case. So this is going on, and I have a feeling this tape is going to stop and go pop, and it's not going to load, which is too bad, because I would like to think that as the packaging looks so good and everything looks so good, that it will work. But, you know, the tapes are old, and it takes just the tiniest little bit of corrosion or, you know, anything to throw this off. So we are spinning, exciting as it is. Well, I hear something from within, but I don't think it's good. Yes, indeed, we're back into the Twilight Zone. Oh dear, 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 dear. See, the thing about the programs on these things is they can only be so long, and they can't be this long. It's still spinning, although it looks like it's getting close to the end and it will pop. It looks like maybe it's struggling. Dear, 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 dear. Well, this has always been exciting. If I had a way to plug in both datasets, I could test the counters, but I do not have such a thing right now. because of course the counters counted differently. Yeah, this is not happening. The tape is hardly spinning now. Oh, now it's picking up speed. Oh, it's at the end. Okay, so that did not go well. I suppose we can reset. Where are we around? We can try again. But I think this is not happening. So, too bad. It's always nice to think that the relics you have saved are actually working. But they are in good shape and would make an excellent display piece for a computer museum. Of course, there is sadness in that Sid Bolton, the curator and owner of the Computer Museum in Brantford, yes, Brantford, has left this world, and the museum seems to be closed, and I don't know what is going to happen next. It's too bad because I know they were looking for things like this, although they probably already had this one. It was an amazing play. It was in an old church, of all things, that somehow was in the backyard of Sid Bolton's house. Well, we are searching and we are finding nothing. I am afraid this tape is not working. Anyway, so there, I had not been there except for once, which was quite recently ago, and Sid was full of life, and they're having a special gathering to commemorate Jim Butterfield. His wife came. It was quite something, and I was hoping, I'm going to stop this, because this is not working. Anyway, it was a magical day, and we donated a couple of things. Richard had a Commodore hockey jersey. There we go, which we donated. We got a picture with Sid, and within 2 or 3 months or so, he was gone. So, anyway, I guess I will not be sending this stuff to the museum if the museum is closed. We're trying another tape. Atom tutorial. It's too bad because, you know, I have a lot of stuff. Too much stuff. And I was hoping that maybe we could even do a special setup there of the original parts of the first bulletin board that Richard and I, my twin brother, ran, called the Bradley Brothers Bulletin Board System. Yes, it was the BBS. And back then, we're still waiting to load. Anyway, you had to build a special circuit. There was no auto answer things. You had an acoustic modem that you put into an acoustic coupler. Every day or so you would take the phone out and smack it around to make sure that it didn't get sort of all jammed up inside and lose the quality of the carrier, which would just, I don't have anything right here to let you listen to such a noise, but anyway, it had its own unique special noise. So we are searching, and we are not finding. So we may have a second bad tape. I'm not so sure. Anyway, I had hoped that we could have set up such a thing, because also, with the help of another fellow who was quite brilliant, David Williams, we had found ways to make sure that the bulletin board could not crash. And that if something bad happened, or if it detected anything wrong, as I remember, a cosmic ray. If the board was sitting there doing nothing, and something happened in the memory, which could of course affect it, it could, with his enhancements, it could detect it and the system would reset. And it made it pretty much, if there was a power failure, it would come back to life. automatically. It's quite magic, quite wonderful. It doesn't seem like much now, but back then, by the way, I'm going to stop this and fast forward. Back then, these things were revolutionary. They were. These things, like, you know, there was just, the machines didn't just start up again when the power came on. They certainly didn't know what to do. Okay, we'll rewind. We'll stop. This time we'll be brave. We'll do, oh, press play. What happened there? Oh, okay. Play. So this is the second side. Usually of the two sides, something works. But maybe not. Maybe we're just on a run of bad luck. Perhaps we are. But if 4 out of the 6 tapes work, well, that's not bad. Anyway, I will be, of course, thinning out my collection. So, unfortunately, well, still searching. Nothing to the Computer Museum in Brantford, because it is no longer there. Well, it's there. It's closed. What does that mean? I don't know. It's all very sad. Very, 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 very sad. So we are searching, but alas, we are not finding. Perhaps I'm just getting impatient. Perhaps. I must say the letters on the Vic-20 sure look nice and clean and crisp on a 1701 monitor. Way back when, the idea was you would hook it up to a television. And some televisions it looked really good, and some televisions it did not. It always looked good on the monitor, but the idea was sell the computer cheap, let them hook it up to a TV, sell them a dataset, get them started, and then they'll buy cartridges. And that pretty much was pretty accurate. The cartridges were, well, you didn't have to wait for them to load. They just were there. And you could play games and do all kinds of things. Oh, I was talking before about one of the best games ever, and I actually just found a cartridge for it right here, Omega Race. And, oh, we have found Adam, and we are loading. That took a while. I know they said it was recorded twice on the tape. Perhaps the first part didn't, or there was trouble. But who knows? At least it is loading. We will soon see, I hope.
That was easy.
What this Adam tutorial is. I hope. We will see soon. I hope. It is spinning. The counter is counting. It is. Actually, out of all the Commodore machines, I suppose the Vic-20 was the one I had the least to do with. It's running. Okay, let's see what this does. Vic Adam quiz. Okay, well, let's try that. Matter is composed of. Oh, look at that. Well, this is interesting. Ooh, I got one right. I'm doing better than... Wait, is this the same? Oh. Ooh. Not the same question. Anyway, so what do we have here? Atoms are composed of something particles. Interesting. I'm going to say H. Ooh, doing much better than... There was one of these I did terribly on. Oh, identify the central part of an atom. I will say, I'm just going to guess B. Oh, what a horrible sound. Oh well. Identify the minus charged particles orbiting around the nucleus. I'm going to say D. Wrong! Oh, electrons. Nah. Sorry, I just don't want to bore you all with. Identify the orbit occupied by an electron. Top electron, Oh, I'm just going to say I. Oh, shell. Dead. It's been a while since I have studied this. Identify the molecular particle with no charge. I'm going to say neutron. Ooh, we're doing better. Haven't heard that sound for a while. Identify the plus A charged particle in the nucleus. Well, I think I'm wrong. Oh, I am. Proton. No, I got it right. Okay. I think we're almost done. Remember the number of protons in the nucleus. The number. Mass number. Atomic number. Let's try C. Wrong! Atomic number. Oh well. I think we probably have one more question and then we will move along. The number of protons, neutrons in the nucleus. Well, let's try F. Wrong! Mass number. Oh well. Sorry, you scored 5, 10 tries. Oh dear. Ooh, let's go for true false. Atoms are composed mostly of empty space. True! Oh, that's true. Atoms consist of protons, neutrons, and electrons. True! You can see an atom with the aid of an electron microscope. True! Oops. Protons are one kind of two kinds of particles in the nucleus. One of two kinds of particles. True! Electrons are arranged in 1 to 7 shells around the nucleus. Okay. True. Yay. Okay. We're doing better. Some objects do not contain tiny atomic particles. I think that is false. Electrons have almost no mass. True. The distance from the nucleus to the electrons is less than 10,000 times. Let's say true. Oh dear. Atomic weight is the weight of an atom compared with the weight of an oxygen atom. Atomic weight. Okay? True. Sounds good. Normally, an atom carries an electrical charge. True. Wrong. Oh. So how'd we do? 7 right. Oh well. Not bad. So, we will end. I will rewind this tape and put it in this configuration so that we know that this is the side that works. So the only one of these that did not work was Vic cells. So I put it in the bottom corner and I will remember that. So as I did find, I'll make a race. So 1 wonderful cartridge that it is. Oh, except it doesn't want to go in. What have I done? What have I done? What have I done? Hello. It feels like it's not lined up right. Okay, I think it's in. I'll turn it on. Oh. Yeah, well, oftentimes, if a cartridge is not seated just so, yeah, that's going well. Well, you know what? We've done well today with our tape decked experiments. We'll try a Mega Race another time. Thank you. Thank you for coming. That's... where is it? That's all, folks. We will meet again. Thank you for spending a little time here with the Vic-20 and a Datasette.